Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's me, Danny, tuning back in. I know it's been a while since I made a Summer Wells video, but oh my God, y'all. I have definitely been watching and sitting back and observing everything. The newest thing right now is Hunter's interview with Chris, which was premiered yesterday. And this interview connected a few dots, but the part where everybody seems to get a little confused, including myself, is with the milk jugs. What happened with the milk jugs? I mean, I'm pretty sure he's only 15 and he probably wouldn't even care to really, you know, care where he even put the milk jugs, but his mother, Allison, is, I'm starting to realize that her interview that she did with Unmasked sounds completely different from Hunter's interview that he did with Chris. Now, a lot of things caught my eye, and I'm commenting on a lot of YouTubers' video videos that they update about Hunter's interview, and I'm trying to tell a lot of people, I'm pretty sure they probably saw it too, but if you didn't pay attention to this, go back and look at the interview and rewind it to 40 minutes and 16 seconds and watch Allison and Hunter's grandmother watch their body language towards one another. Watch Allison's body language towards Hunter when she's trying to coach him to say the park at the park, when Hunter said something about he met Candace at 7:30 p.m. or something like that, and he said that he's at the park with his girlfriend for most of the part. And if you look at Allison and watch her at 40 minutes and 16 seconds, you will see her trying to help Hunter say certain things. Don't get me wrong, I may be blowing this out of proportion, but it's obvious that Hunter was coached to say certain things before this interview even started. Okay, yes, he's a minor, and his parents, his mother and grandmother supposedly sat with him through the interview only because he's a minor. But it's obvious that the timeline with the 2 hour span doesn't add up. It doesn't sound right. There's some things missing. And it's pretty obvious that before this interview was done, Allison tried to take some time out to talk to Hunter, tell him to watch what he says and say certain and mention certain things. There was a few times where Hunter almost slipped up and said certain things, and Allison and the grandmother would turn towards each other, eyes bucked. You know, I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to go ahead and let him do the interview. Um, that's pretty fucked up on the mother's part. Um, I understand that they're trying to prove themselves, that they had nothing to do with Summer's disappearance and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's not doing anything but making you guys look more and more like you had some type of involvement. I don't want to say the 15-year-old Hunter specifically had some type of involvement, but the way that he's wording things and certain, to my understanding, now most of us know that Hunter has ADHD. Okay, so he probably words things differently, and also because of his age, he's 15 years old, so obviously he's wording things differently as well. But when he explains the timeline is pretty much the issue towards the end when he explains about the milk jugs. And he over explains himself in detail about certain things that doesn't need to be that doesn't need to be explained. Now, like I said, that may be the way that he words things because of his age. He's only 15. His mental, how can I say it, state of mind, he has ADHD, so I don't know if that plays a part in it. But if you're so street smart like you say, and you're very aware of things like you say, and you're very observing like you say, Mr. Hunter, then why is it that you word things differently if you're so smart? I mean, when he said that and he agreed with Chris on him being street smart and very observant and aware of things and just very smart, that caught my eye, because it's like, if you're so smart, then you shouldn't have a hard time trying to explain the milk jugs, and your ADHD shouldn't even play a part in you trying to explain it. He explained everything else down to the T. He remembered everything. But when it come down to the milk jugs, that's when the huge misunderstanding started. And that is when also Allison didn't even, she was constantly saying that the milk jugs were laying on the side of Summer and Summer had her head on them. Then he was saying that he had the milk jugs in between his legs and he was holding on to them. Then he said he was sitting in the middle. Then he said he doesn't remember sitting beside Summer or something like that. In the video, in the TikTok video, and the screenshots or pictures that everyone keeps posting, I don't see Hunter. I don't even see him. So maybe that video was made once they dropped Hunter off, if I'm not mistaken. But if Hunter says that he was in the car with Candace and Candace's mother and Summer, where the hell was Hunter? And why the hell did Candace lie and say that the boys went swimming with them? So it's obvious that Candace is definitely, I want to say definitely for sure, a suspect in Summer's disappearance. She is definitely a suspect. To narrow it all down, Candace is a suspect, and I believe that she is, because anytime a person has to consistently change their story, and this is your daughter that we're talking about, and your story has changed numerous of times. First you was silent, then when you started talking, your story started changing back to back to back. She said that the boys went with her to the swimming hole. Hunter is saying that the boys never tagged along. They were with supposedly Don at his workplace. Then he said he doesn't believe that Don went to work that day, because how would Don know that there was a guy lurking, watching the kids or trying to hug them or something like that? That explains, for those of you that don't know, one of the YouTubers made a video about a property right by Summer Wells's home that was bought. I'm sorry, not a property. It was land. It was land that was bought right by Summer Wells's home, and the guy that bought it is from Georgia. And it was said that Don had issues with this guy from Georgia because he would come on Don's property with his dog and start digging or something like that. Then I heard that this guy ended up leaving the day that Summer was reported missing, or the day before Summer was reported missing, this guy ended up leaving. But there are so many holes in this story. Now, I believe that that's what Hunter was talking about when he was saying, oh, Don had called when we were all in the car, and he said there's a guy that keeps coming on his property trying to hug his kids or watch the kids or something like that. So that's where I got that from. Another thing, Hunter is, a lot of people are starting to say that certain things that Hunter has said does not add up. Because why would you automatically assume that what Don was saying on the phone was suspicious? Then he started talking about dry drowning, but he was being like very shady with it. I mean, not shady. Well, yeah, throwing shade about the dry drowning situation and how Summer possibly could have dry drowned and stuff like that. He brought that up, and I believe he only brought that up because he's been watching YouTube. Obviously, he's been watching people talk about the dry drowning possibility. I, for certain, don't think that Summer dry drowned at all, because if that was the case, nobody would have seen her in the car. Hunter wouldn't be explaining how he played TikTok videos for her and she was wide awake. But I don't believe the dry drowning part. I really believe that Summer did fall asleep in the back seat of the truck. I mean, just like he said that when kids go swimming, they get tired out, and I'm for certain I'm a witness to that, because that chlorine, well, at a public pool, the chlorine could make you tired, and then just swimming, period, can just make you tired, you know. I know they didn't go to a public pool. I know they went, you know, swimming out in the lake, but still, just doing activities as a little girl, you know, all that running around and all that stuff can make you really tired. So I believe she did fall asleep. As far as the milk jugs and her falling asleep on the milk jugs, I believe that when she was hot, because Summer did explain, I mean, not Summer, Hunter did explain that Candace and her mom went inside of the grocery store for about an hour and left Hunter and Summer in the car. Hunter explained that he started showing Summer TikTok videos, and she was laughing, and it was very, very hot in the car, and the milk jugs were cold. They were then Summer was like leaning on the milk jugs or something like that. But this is what I don't understand, right? Maybe I heard it wrong, and please correct me if I'm wrong, people. But how is it that Summer was already leaning on, how is it, okay, how is it that the milk jugs were already by Summer and the pop was already by Summer if Candace and her mother was still in a grocery store shopping for a whole hour? Like I said, maybe I heard it wrong, but that is what I'm coming up with. And then Hunter already said that he was holding on to the milk jugs. Now, maybe he said that once they came out of the store, they gave him the milk jugs. I would have to look at that part again, because that part was very, very, very confusing. I'm not sure if they already gave him the milk jugs or he's saying that the milk jugs were already in the car. Like, I don't understand, you know? So, like I said, I may be wrong and I may have to go back and look at that part again. I have looked at this video over 2 or 3 times, and I replayed the part at 40 minutes and 16 seconds exactly, over and over and over. And I just can't shake the fact that Allison And her mom was, their body language was like completely off. And Allison was trying to get Hunter to say the park on camera. Like, did she like literally forget the camera was in her face? And then Allison's mom, who's Hunter's grandma, she was looking at Allison like, oh my God, we're about to get in a world of trouble. I can't believe she's doing this right now on camera. Anyway, Summer has been missing for over a month now. The people that are responsible for Summer's death need to be held accountable to the fullest extent. And I mean, I don't know, like I said in another YouTuber's video, I don't know if they have the death penalty in Tennessee, but if they do, I feel like the people responsible need the death penalty. I don't feel like life without parole is necessary at this point, because they played around. They lied. They played cat and mouse games. They played jokes on everybody as if like this is some type of game. And it's not. There's a 5-year-old girl that's missing. There's a 5-year-old girl just that's not here for no apparent reason. And we still don't know. We still have yet to find out the truth, although we are getting closer to the truth as the days go by. There will be a part 2 tonight on Hunter's interview, because that wasn't even a full interview for those of you that didn't get a chance to see it. The name of this guy's YouTube page is called The Interview Room, and his name is Chris. He's very good. He has been working with, in the past, he's worked with FBI and police, and he's been a detective in the past himself as well. He's a retired detective, and he still does do interviews till this day, and he makes sure that he confirms with law enforcement that it's okay to do an interview and to involve himself in the investigation to interview these people and send it over to law enforcement. So yes, Hunter's interview has been already sent over to law enforcement. For those of you that don't know, after Chris showed the premiere of him interviewing Hunter, he made a live video afterwards for about 2 hours. I only got all the way to 20 minutes so far, so I have a lot more to watch. But basically, he was pretty much saying that he already, spoke with law enforcement, and they said that it was okay to go ahead and interview Hunter. And he also got permission from Allison to interview Hunter, obviously, because Allison was sitting right there. So yeah, things, and also this video was definitely turned over to TBI. Things has been just completely absurd for the past few weeks. I pray that Summer's body is recovered and that she is found very soon. Also, there is a psychic that they have working with the TBI as well on Summer's case. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it. I'm not sure of her name, but if you go to Mountain Girl, I think it's Mountain Girl 123 or 234. Anyway, all you have to do is just type in Mountain Girl on YouTube. She's a YouTuber as well. Her YouTube page just started growing when she started to speak facts about the Summer case and present facts as well. So if you go on her page, she posts videos pretty much every day, and she always has different updates on the case, and like she always shows receipts of things. You know, she doesn't just say them, she just shows them. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and follow or subscribe to her, watch her videos. She'll tell you a whole lot about a psychic that's currently working with the TBI on Summer's disappearance. And in the past, she has worked with law enforcement and has found hundreds of missing people, rather they were dead or alive. So she's pretty credible, and she's like a great psychic, you know, for the case. So she's gonna also be working with them, and also Equsearch from Texas is coming in this Saturday, supposedly to also help search for Summer. So this has yet to be over with. We got Hunter's interview, we got a psychic working on Summer's case with the detectives. Then we have Equsearch. And Equsearch, they're pretty good. Like, they're definitely pretty good when it comes down to searching. There was cases in the past in Texas that I was following with missing kids that were recovered through Equsearch within a matter of weeks or days. So they're pretty good. I've watched them in the past, and I'm pretty sure that they'll end up finding Summer. So there's been a lot of new stuff going on, and we will find Summer. We will find her, and the people responsible for her disappearance, justice will be served. And like I said, I don't like really saying names, but I'm just being 100. I really think that Candace Wells, Summer's mother, plays a huge part in this whole thing. Because why is it that she was the last person to see, her and her mother were the last people to see Summer alive? And I would say Hunter, but he was dropped off at home. I wouldn't be surprised if he knows exactly what happened, because Candace told him. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, most of the things that he was saying in his interview seemed pretty much correct. It's just that he worded certain things differently. Some things didn't make sense or add up, and like I said, that's just gonna make me go back and watch the video again to see, like, why doesn't it sound right? Allison seems a little bit off to me. I may be wrong, and I admit I may be wrong, but it's just, why are they acting weird, you know, when it comes down to the milk jugs part? Why is it that Allison, every time Chris says something about, you know, if you're lying, you know, that's gonna come back, that you're lying, they're gonna find out who did this to Summer. Every time he says that, I don't know if it's just me, but I watch Allison's face. It's just, she goes from being in her phone to listening to him say that, and it's like this guilty, sorry ass look that she has on her face. You know, she just looks sad. And I can just literally, I can picture the people that had involvement in Summer's death in handcuffs on television, in handcuffs. I definitely feel like Don also participating in this. I do, because the things that he's saying isn't adding up either. I hope they get everybody that's involved in this, because this has been going on for over a month, and it has been getting completely out of hand. There has been a lot of YouTubers following this, a lot of people following this. When I look at how many views most of these YouTubers got, In regards to Summer's Wells disappearance, I see about 90,000 people. 90,000 people at least. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of people that's interested in this case. That just goes to show, like, that's worldwide. You know, you got people from the UK, people from Chicago like myself. You got people from down south, people from California. It's just worldwide, you know, like this case is very high profile and very interesting. And Candace and Don and Allison and Candace's mother and Hunter and all the main characters in this need to understand that. So yes, people are going to have their own opinions about this case, and people will have questions whether they like it or not, but that's just how this is going to go. It's thousands of people across the United States watching this case. And I can't wait to see a great outcome. I can't wait till they finally recover Summer and they arrest the people involved. I really want to see who's involved in this. I really want to see the truth come out. Other than that, until then, we're going to stay up to date on this case as much as possible. I encourage you guys to tune in tonight. I'm not sure what time is the next interview, part 2, is coming on, but I believe that it's probably going to be 6 p.m. like it was yesterday, 6 p.m. Central Time. And his name on YouTube is The Interview Room. He's a retired detective, and he's also working with law enforcement on the Summer Wells case. So tune in to him. Tune in to also Mountain Girl. If those, for those of you that hasn't watched her yet, tune in to her as well. Those two I would recommend watching. Also, another YouTuber that I watch, I just watch his opinions. His name is Don Buchanan. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably know who he is as well, because his channel has grew tremendously ever since the Summer Wells case as well. So I recommend a few people. Unmasked. Yeah, that's about it. So I would recommend Above and Beyond Ancestry, but she hasn't been active for about a week on the Summer Wells case. But you guys just continue like tuning in to these people. So The Interview Room, that's the main guy that you want to watch today, because he will have part 2 of Hunter's interview. And also Mountain Girl. And also continue to tune in to watch my videos and stay up to date with me as well. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know, guys, what is your take on this case so far? What do you feel is going to happen? What do you feel happened? And are you okay with Hunter's interview and Allison's body language? Let me know.